Hello there, adventurers, and welcome to Wally DM. By now, I'm sure your players have already stepped on a dungeon tile and got blindsided with a bunch of poison darts, or perhaps they triggered a trap and fell into a pit. But let's do something really cool. What if they step on an area on a dungeon floor and they get catapulted or propelled through the air and then stuck to the ceiling? If that sounds like something that could be fun at your table, then stick around because we're going to do a trap review from the Trap Compendium by D&D Gaming called A Sticky Situation. So what we have here is just a very simple room that you could find in a dungeon. I've got this room drawn out here, and I have just a bunch of rubble. Perhaps part of the ceiling is caving in, perhaps part of the wall. There's a couple of unlit torches that are protruding from the side of the wall here, and of course we're coming in through this direction, and this is the direction that we are headed. So this is the exit. And what I did with this rubble was just trying to funnel our adventurers right here where this T in the circle. This is our trap. And if one of them steps on this pressure plate, then they are going to be launched in the air like by this big spring with a board on it, and it just springs them up into the air, and they will need to make a dexterity saving throw if they want to try to get off of the pressure plate before it fully launches them. And of course, if they fail that saving throw, then they are going to be adhered to the ceiling. So there's a bunch of sticky stuff, some kind of adhesive on this ceiling. Could be some kind of a slime left behind by some kind of a snail or something along that nature. And then if they choose not to be stuck to the ceiling, then perhaps they can make a strength saving throw with a DC of about a 14 or so to see if they're able to push themselves off of the ceiling. Now that is how a sticky situation is in the Trap Compendium, but what I'm thinking is that we use spiders. And instead of just being this random adhesive on the ceiling, and instead of this being a crumbled wall, this is all just spider webs. So we just have tons and tons of spider webs all over the place, and the adventurers are probably moving their hands and trying to knock the spider webs on their way through, and then one of them does hit this trap, and we have spider webs along the ceiling. And if they hit this, then I would probably increase the DC to at least an 18, if not a 20, on both of the dexterity saving throws to be launched through the air by the springed up board, or also for a saving throw to see if they are stuck to the ceiling. And this will be spider webs up here. So once one of them is launched through the air and stuck in a spider web, then one of these spiders here are just going to come in and attack it. And of course the adventurer will probably have disadvantage until they can use a strength check to cut themselves free of the spider web. Now I would probably also have this trap reset, or maybe have another one. Maybe this room was built by some type of a drider or something for pet spiders or whatnot, and we have another one over here. So one of the adventurers trying to swing around over this direction, maybe attacking this spider here, and when they do that, there's another trigger here, and this one launches them over this way into this spider web. So all kinds of cool things that we can do with a sticky situation. Again, all it is a spring in the floor and a pressure plate, and once an adventurer steps on this pressure plate, will allow them a dexterity saving throw to try to jump off of it in time. Otherwise, this part of the floor is just going to launch them through the air and into the spider web. Now, one final thought. Perhaps the adventurers have come up this direction, and they're out here, and this is a ledge, and out here is just nothing but void. And on the other side, we have this. And there is a pressure plate here and a pressure plate here. And if they step on one of these, they're launched into the void. Now, of course, we don't want this void area here to kill a character just for stepping on a pressure plate. So this could be maybe a 20-foot drop or 10-foot drop spike trap. So we have some spikes down there. Perhaps it is some kind of a portal that teleports a character like way over into this room here, into some kind of a cage or something, or things of that nature. What I think would be really cool is, yes, this is a pit spike trap or whatever, but perhaps there's some ropes here. So we've got ropes hanging out here in the middle, and we could allow our characters to have a little bit of fun if they detect this trap or whatever and they step on it and it launches them. Will allow them to go ahead and be launched, and then maybe an acrobatics check to hit this rope and then swing on this rope to land on the other side. So that's a way that we could have fun with this trap, a sticky situation. Again, all it is a pressure plate in the floor that is spring loaded, and once a adventurer steps on this, they're launched in the air. So we could have them stick to a ceiling, we could have them stick to a spider web, we can have them launched into some type of a pit trap, or we can make things really cool where we have ropes or things of that nature hanging from this part of the ceiling, and then they can just swing over to the other side with a successful check, or they fall in. This could even be water. Maybe they fall into this water and it's flowing this way and they get washed away down this way, and the rest of the party either has to jump in after them or get to the other side and then go downstream this way to find them. So let's take a look at a few of the stats. This is a sticky situation. Again, this is found in the Trap Compendium by 2C Gaming. This is a mechanical trap, so it can be found by a thief. And the search DC that is listed in the book is an 18. And to disable the trap is a 15. Of course, using our thieves tools or however we like to do that. And I mentioned these DCs as recommendations. Of course, you can make them as weak or as strong as you would like as the Dungeon Master. And our trigger is a pressure plate, so a character steps on an area that is the trap. And then, of course, they are launched through the air. We are allowing a saving throw. The book says dexterity 14. I think an 18 is more in order because we're going to catch the character on surprise. So if they make a saving throw of a dexterity 18, they jump off the side while the pressure plate flings up into the air, so they're not launched. And then we allow a second saving throw once they hit the adhesive on the ceiling or once they hit the spider web. We can allow them a saving throw with a DC of 14. Of course, I cross this out and put it as a 20 because I will probably run this with spiders and spider webs. So I kind of want them to be stuck. It'd be kind of cool that they're stuck up there and a spider's coming over for dinner and that one character has to fight them off. Our effect, again, launches an adventurer through the air and they are stuck to the ceiling or in a spider web or a cross and open area. And if they don't make it, they fall into the water, or they can grab a hold of a rope, or things like that. Left up to our imagination. And the location, this can be just about anywhere. We can put this in a dungeon, a sealed temple, old ruins, a spider's lair, a drider's lair, or a wizard tower. A few final notes. The Trap Compendium does say that this will launch them 35 feet to the ceiling. Of course, as a DM, you can adjust that. And as something that I would probably add is I would actually have the trap reset automatically. So after the spring goes off, launches a character, or at least tries to, then I would probably have it just be an automatic reload so it can get somebody else. There are some scaling suggestions, and the book suggests that maybe to make this a little bit tougher, that we either increase the DCs, or we could even consider putting some continuous damage. Maybe there are a barrage of arrows or some steady flame jets once the character is stuck that keep hitting them over and over again until they break free with that strength saving throw. So that is my review of a trap from the Trap Compendium called A Sticky Situation. And I've got to know, what do you think of the trap as is, and what did you think about maybe swapping it up a little bit to include some spiders, or propelling a character through the air into a chasm or into a portal or somewhere where they have to make an acrobatics check to leech onto a rope or grab the side of a cliff? Be sure to leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. If you haven't joined my Discord channel already, be sure to do that. And we'll see you in the next trap video. Thanks for watching, and on to the next.